What's his name?
His name is Bruno Le Maire.
Like that one better.
Yeah.
Well, they should get Bruno Lamar's because I think he's really good at healing everybody.
Yeah. What do you think he would say to people?
He would just say, talk to the moon, you know?
Oh, that's so true.
Buy all the things he never had, you know?
Who do you think that he would sit next to if he could pick?
Oprah and the Queen, but
Oprah and Winfrey?
Yeah.
So you guys know who the president of France is? Joe, take it away.
Pierre de Pepetapou.
Close.
So accurate.
Yeah.
So Pierre Lepeau. No, his name is Macron. Emmanuel Macron.
Oh yeah, macaroon.
It's not Justin Trudeau,
It's not
That's the Canadian president.
but isn't Trudeau French?
French
He
Canadian.
might as well be because he's a traitor.
Thank you. That was a setup. He fucking nailed it.
No, so he has overrided a parliament bill to pass what they call the retirement age bill, right? So he has resorted to using special constitutional powers. There was what they call a pensions overhaul in France that was met with widespread protests and strikes all across France. And Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne announced to the Assembly that the government would trigger Article 49.3 of the French Constitution. And Macron resorted to using special constitutional powers to plan to raise the retirement age to 64 from 62.
Yeah.
For 2 years?
Yep.
Who's this?
Well, people are living longer. I bet you France burned to the ground after that.
So yeah, no.
It's for people with gaming headphones, so they don't feel ripped off.
French people started taking to the streets. They were burning furniture in the street.
I bet.
Yep.
They would burn furniture in the street.
If you tell a Frenchman to work more, dude, they'll fucking start taking Muay Thai so they can fight you.
It's like Les Mis, dude. They just start burning furniture.
That's what they did.
But imagine the guys that are 62 who just retired. They're like, yes.
Yeah.
That must feel nice.
Damn.
Yeah.
So is it a bunch of 61-year-olds that are like, fucking
It's
bitch?
everybody. It's everybody. So,
Only them.
so the plans were passed in France's Senate on Thursday morning, but had been due for a vote in the National Assembly, which is the lower house, where its approval was not granted. So then, Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne announced to the Assembly that the government would trigger Article 49.3, which I mentioned before. Lawmakers opposed to the reforms booed, chanted, shouted resignation as she spoke, and then at one point the session was suspended for 2 minutes as politicians sang the national anthem too loudly for her to even be heard.
Nice.
That's the filibuster.
Right.
Classic.
And then Macron's Renaissance Party argues reform of the pension system is necessary because they're fucked a little bit. They projected an annual deficit of 10 billion euros, which is $10.73 billion each year between 2022 and 2032. So each year, $10.73 billion is being sucked up into the pension fund.
Wow.
Opinion polls suggest a majority of the public supported industrial action to oppose the changes, which includes requiring workers to contribute to the system for 43 years to qualify for a full pension. Strikes have now taken place since the start of the year and intensified, and it's getting nuts out there. Like, look at this shit.
Oh my god.
It's a lot of furniture.
It's Santa Monica.
Yeah, it's...
Let me see.
That literally just looks like here.
Whoa.
At night, that shit's on fire.
But what did they throw? Like just trash from
The
the house?
streets are like packed with all this kind of shit. Yeah, it's garbage.
Wow.
It's all kinds of, they call it rubbish, I guess, over there.
When I was in Paris, they were dealing with like a massive refugee situation.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, dude, this shit looks like, you know how Skid Row is and it's pretty packed? Imagine that times 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Like tents were like fucking all over. It was crazy.
No, that's
But it wasn't as dirty, but it was a lot of tents.
that's happening in France too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so a lot of politicians right now are trying to say, hey, we want to vote of no confidence in the government, which would mean fuck you to the president. Marine Le Pen, you maybe have heard of her before. She's run against Macron in the past and lost. She's basically saying like, hey, we're gonna do this. So if you don't like what's going on, let's go. And there's maybe not going to be a vote to dissolve the National Assembly and hold new elections. it's kind of up in the air right now. But there's a lot of unrest in France right now due to this.
I feel like France they protest so much that it makes the protests in France makes it seem like it's not that.
You think they bitch a little much?
They do too much.
They're always going on strike. No shit though. Like every time they're like flights from France are delayed because the airport's on strike or like something's on strike, and I'm just like, damn, they keep fighting, dude. Yeah. They just can't come to a conclusion. Like,
Are you trying to say like French people are kind of soft or what?
no, I think they're lazy people.
Isn't something where the
I'm just kidding.
We're going to wrestling.
The legislature, right? The government doesn't have the majority to approve of something, and the president goes, "Well, fuck it, we're doing it anyway."
That's fucked up.
And that's kind of what's happening.
Yeah. What kind of check and balances is that?
I wonder why though. I'm thinking
It's kind of like the U.S. government in war.
Very laissez-faire.
We don't pass war
with
resolutions
accent.
anymore. We just fucking go.
Laissez-faire.
Yeah, we're going off of September 11th. You just do whatever you want.
because we just did an article about South Korea raising the weekly hours, right, to like 69 hours a week for full time, right?
Yeah.
So then, what if like this is a reaction to not having enough people? Because that's an issue that Europe, America, South Korea, Japan is facing. Is there's not enough people, not enough workers. Right now, we're gonna see a huge boomer population just retire.
Well, you're talking about, they're going to retire, and there's not enough people down here to pay for the people up here.
Exactly. So that gap
Yeah.
is like, what if they're doing this move, hoping to like siphon it a little bit slower? So now instead of 2, you got 64. Maybe they know the math of like, oh, there's a lot of fucking people at this age. So if we just pump it 2 more years, then we don't have all these people retiring.
Well, that's what the finance minister of France says. Right? He says that the reform is just necessary to ensure a fiscal balance by 2030. And he says the government's made concessions already, including decreasing the proposed retirement age from 65 to 64. And he was confident they would get a majority in Parliament.
What's his name?
His name is Bruno Le Maire.
Like that one better.
Yeah.
Well, they should get Bruno Lamar's because I think he's really good at healing everybody. Through
What do you think he would say to people?
He would just say, talk to the moon, you know?
Oh, that's so true.
And he'd say, like, everyone wishes that they were a billionaire so fucking bad, you know?
How bad?
Billionaire?
So
Fucking bad. Buy all the things he never had, you know?
Who do you think that he would sit next to if he could pick?
I don't know, maybe
I don't know what the
Probably Oprah.
Oprah and the Queen, but
Oprah Le Winfrey?
Oprah Le Winfrey.
Whoopi Le Goldberg.
Wow, I'm starting to remember all these lyrics.
What's after that?
Sister Act 3. You know it? I think my accent is fucked though.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people are, I mean, I'd be pissed if I'm like, what the fuck? I was about to retire. Or
But
like,
does 64 turn into 66?
it's gonna keep going. Yeah.
Well,
Draw
right.
the line.
Well, that's what a lot of the workers who are likely to retire at 62 are manual workers, and they're just like, yo, I started work at a young age. Like, how
Yeah.
the fuck do you expect me to keep going?
Easy for you to attack on Tua. I've just clocked in 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
They're not all social media managers.
I know, right? It's like I'm missing an arm from the fucking iron factory that I've been working at. Yeah.
They're like, I just chucked a chair in the street that was on fire last night. My back's thrown out.
Okay, that makes
But the government's also in a hole too, because they're just like, yo, there's all these people that's gonna retire now. We don't have enough money for everybody. What are we
Right.
gonna do? And then they can try taxing companies, but it's actually the most difficult to tax the biggest companies because they'll just run. They'll just go to other.
Well, they don't
have
want the companies to
much
leave,
money.
yeah.
They're like a country themselves. Not saying that it can't be done, but that's why a lot of the times they fuck with middle class and poor, because like you know how like they're going, we're gonna check your Venmo, we're gonna do all that shit, is because we don't have lawyers and
Can't do anything about it.
You can't do nothing.
No
If
leverage.
IRS comes to us, we're just paying.
You're just paying, yeah, true.
But then they go to Amazon or whatever, and then they're like, "Oh, this is gonna take like 15 years to fight these guys and get our money."
Yeah.
So it's just tough, man. I don't even know how they can do it.
So a representative for the people who are going through this, right? They say, do you hear the people singing the song?
You're such an ass.
Stupid pulled up.
What is it?
This fool pulled up the lyrics. Did he pull out the lyrics?
This fucker.
He says it's the music of a people.
you hear the paper shake?
Singing the songs of angry men. It is the music of a people who will not be played again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a light.
I don't know this song.
It's the most famous.
Hi, I'm Zavier.
It's the national anthem.
It's what?
It's the national anthem.
Joe was in the library reading a bunch of other shit while we were watching Les Mis.
Ole man!
Yeah, I skipped that.
24609.